Welcome to Grip Grind Glory, where grapplers train with purpose and grow through the grind. And now, your host thought-provoker and fellow grinder, Anna Janovics.
Well, hello, my beautiful friends. This is episode 10 of Grip Grind Glory. Welcome back. And today we're talking about the part of training that everyone brushes through, skips, or half-asses. Not everyone, but most of us. And it might just be the most important part of all, the warm-up. Not just in sport, but in life, in business, in parenting, in anything that requires sustained effort and real change. Because let's be honest, nobody likes the warm-up. Nothing seems to happen in it. No breakthroughs, no cheering, but it's the thing that prepares you to last, to stay the course, to avoid breakdowns. So let's dig into why the warm-up matters and why skipping it is one of the most common and costly mistakes people make. When people hear warm-up, they usually think, get the blood moving, stretch a bit, break a sweat. And yes, that's one piece. It primes the muscles, increases circulation, preps the joints. But that's the surface level. The real magic is happening underneath. There are 3 very powerful functions of a warm-up that most people never think about. It signals intent. You're not just physically present. You're announcing, I'm about to do something that matters. It's like knocking on the door of your own focus. Your breath changes, your posture shifts, your energy tightens. You go from default mode to deliberate mode. That shift is psychological. You're setting a tone, not just warming up your body, but sharpening your purpose. Number 2 is that it connects brain and body. And this is huge. You're literally reactivating the nervous system. Think about it, going from the sofa to the mat is a neural shift, not just a physical one, obviously. And the name for this, I've just learned, is cortical priming. You're preparing the brain to recruit muscle fibers faster, more efficiently, and in sync. It's like booting up an operating system before launching a big app. You don't go straight to performance mode. In real terms, it's better reaction, sharper movement, fewer mistakes, which will lead into number 3, fewer injuries. It reduces injury and error. Warm-up does. This is number 3. And this one is obvious and still so very much underestimated. When you skip the warm-up, you skip the signal to your tendons, joints and ligaments to get ready for load and complexity. In judo, skipping that moment could be a pulled muscle, a jammed finger, a sprained wrist, dislocated shoulders, oh my God. In life, it might be something like, starting a job before you're emotionally ready, or pushing through a conversation with your partner before you're grounded. Warm-ups don't just prevent physical injuries, they prevent bad decisions. And just to back this up with numbers, I found online that dynamic warm-ups have been shown to reduce injury rates by over 50%, 50. That's half. That's not nothing. It seems to be it's a very high number. I've personally done different sports over the years, and in some of them, I must say, you can get away without warming up. It's not ideal. No one would advise you do, but because, you will survive, but you might not thrive as much as you could. In judo, no chance. The warm-up isn't optional. But, and this is important, it's often done without thought, like proper, mental tuning in. People going through the motions, jogging in a circle, arm circles, break falls, what have you. But inside, and that's for the physical warm-up, inside, they're still somewhere else. We're still at work, I'm still at home thinking about dinner. And I do catch myself thinking about all these different things, and the warm-up's just suddenly over. And I've not done the mental work I should have done. And that's where injuries and sloppiness creep in. Not because the body is broken, but because the system isn't online yet, right? It's not tuned in. Inside the Grip Grind Glory programs, like for example the 6-week Grip Strong one, we always start slow on purpose, and people always ask, when does the hard stuff start? And I usually tell them, you're already in it. This is the hard stuff, the unsexy stuff that builds the base. In week 1 of the program, it's about activating all those things that have been dormant, reintroducing control, teaching the body how to trust tension again. What people don't see is that your brain is actually relearning confidence. Your hands are rebuilding precision. That's the scaffolding of strength. That's what makes week 6 results possible in the first place. And it's the same with life, it's your 4th day back on the mat. No one will cheer you. They will welcome you, obviously, and they will encourage you, but it's not like, the fireworks and the unicorns and what have you. If you skip the warm-up part, these days, these weeks, the initial stuff, everything will collapse later. And it always looks like it came out of nowhere, but it didn't. You just didn't put in the work at the beginning. Where I get a little philosophical is when I say that the warm-up is identity work. It's saying that I'm showing up even when there's no reward yet. Delayed gratification is something the human brain doesn't really appreciate. When you say that I'm laying bricks no one will ever see, I'm, in this for real and not for show. I'm in this for the long term, and who knows when it starts paying off. That's the bit I'm talking about. And, people do quit in the first part of long-term stuff, a new fitness program, new diet, a new version of you, a new relationship, because it feels like nothing's happening. Well, in a new relationship, it doesn't feel like nothing's happening. But the rest of them, for example, when it's about a new version of yourself, it doesn't, things don't happen for a very long time. I've been through it, and it takes years. And to see the first signs, takes months. So everything is happening in those months. You're laying the foundations. The nervous system is adapting. New habits are forming. The mindset is completely recalibrating. But there's, no one says it. There is no applause, nothing, no one standing there clapping, yeah, keep going. There are no results to post. It's only friction and resistance and grind for a very long time. And that's what makes it powerful for us athletes. So let me ask you this. Where in your life are you in a warm-up right now? Are you starting something again? Or are you, restructuring your identity? Well, don't rush it. Definitely don't skip it. And just forget for a moment that it has to be pretty, that everything has to, make you happy. No, it doesn't have to be pretty, or it doesn't have to make you happy. It doesn't even need to go viral. Because you don't need to impress with it anyone. The only thing the warm-up needs is completion and, just keeping at it. The warm-up is and will be what makes everything else work. This is the unsung hero of every transformation, and it deserves your full presence. So DM me or tag me with your warm-up moment. That's what I'm asking of you today. Tell me the invisible part of your story that you're building now. I want to celebrate it with you. And honestly, Grip Grind Glory is in its warm-up phase too. We're not at full speed yet, We're laying the groundwork brick by brick. A lot of changes happening all the time. And behind the scenes, there's a lot going on. From content creation to structuring how our membership platform will look, who we'd like to work with, and how that work is going to happen at some point, who we're building a community for. That's not just here to train, but to reclaim what Judo really stands for. Because we're here to restore meaning in Judo. We're reminding people that Judo was never just about competition. It was about character, culture, courage, the quiet kind, And just like in any good warm-up, this phase isn't glamorous, I can tell you that. It's work, day in and day out, hustle, without anyone cheering for us. We're practically invisible. Not going viral, not posting, we're not loud yet. But, we're getting warm. Because what we're building isn't hype, it's heat, it's for the long term. And when the time comes, this community will move with force. So if you're listening to this now, you're early, you're part of the warm-up crew, and that's something very special to us, because when the movement takes off, we'll know who was already on the mat, getting ready alongside us. And my friends, this is a wrap for today. I'd like to thank you for your continued support and attention. I'll be back next week, and until then, let's grip, grind, and glory. Bye.